let's continue on this area down here. And let's just wet me brush. But yeah, it was kind of important to me to come back on today, whilst I'm having a good day, or at least at the moment, and hopefully it lasts for the rest of the day, because I would like people that are maybe suffering with the same kind of problems that I am to see that there is a contrast. There are good and bad days, and when you're on a really bad day, remember the good days. So yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. And I really want to kind of get this picture to the finishing line. I'm in no way going to finish this today, but if I could just every time you get near these paintings, you're always one step closer, which is nice. But yeah, I had a blast on GTA. I love GTA roleplay, and that server is one of the best that I've come across. That can't be a 20, can it?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, Pitbull, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you in here. As you could probably tell, I'm doing a bit better today. And I just thought, as I just said, I just thought I'd take plenty of days off when I'm not feeling too good. And today I've woken up with a real spring in my step. I don't feel as tired as what I have done the last few days, because that has really been bringing me down. Um, and I just thought, you know what, sod it. Come on. And as I was just saying, like to show the contrast between having a really bad day and a really bad time of it to having a better time. Even when I look back over my videos, and I can see the difference in me, because it just means that I'm in here somewhere. If you understand what I mean by that, it's sometimes you feel like you're losing yourself, um, and yeah, kind of a morale booster to realize that you're still here. I jumped into the Valheim server last night and died about 11 times while setting up a starter base. Yeah, I haven't actually been back in there. The plan was today, so I was going to do a bit of Valheim, because I want to get back in there and get cracking on it. And then I was going to try and see if I could play a little bit of Warzone. Um, and then I would have liked to have gone back onto GTA RP, but unfortunately, the day has kind of slipped away from me. Um, I honestly thought that I wasn't going to push myself today and do stuff, and I've just kind of been. I was laying in bed, not feeling sorry for myself, but just like happy to not be feeling so bad, and I kind of wasted some of the day, which you know I'm not particularly happy about, but it is what it is. You never have to worry about losing yourself. We'll always remind you. Yeah, and I've also got my whiteboard. Yeah, which has been an absolute godsend. And it was pointed out to me the other day that I've got these tools and maybe I should use them. My memory's not great at the moment. Well, you can sit and cry about it, or you can find something to help you deal with it. So I did buy a whiteboard for that particular reason, because I knew I was having a problem. So use it and write stuff down. So yeah, you got to help yourself sometimes. You can't just rely on others all the time. But I wanted to apologize to anybody that is watching my videos, whether that be on Twitch or on YouTube. And I want to apologize for the the depressive tone of the last couple of videos. I do, as you all know, if anybody's actually watched this from start to finish, well, almost finish anyway, you'll know that I've definitely been very vocal when it comes to what's wrong with me, in the hopes that maybe somebody else in the same position might, you know, it might help them. You don't need to. Hey, Furious, how you doing, beautiful woman? It is lovely to see you back in here. Well, the reason I'm apologising is because not everybody understands, and I've never been that person to kind of snub people because they've got a lack of understanding of something. Do you get what I mean? So, somebody could be watching my video and think, oh my God, this dude is so depressive, and I kind of just wanted to say, like, I understand what I'm doing, and it's not something that I actively want to do. It's kind of out of my control, and yeah, that's basically that. But how have you been, darling? How did your renovations go? I'm pretty sure I asked you about this once before, but I didn't write it down on my whiteboard because, I'm an idiot. No. Okay, so that's going to be a number 1. That's going to be a 20. So we'll get this bit done. Yeah, and it's annoying because you can't see all of this. One day, when my bills are paid, like in the year 3092, I'm going to treat myself to get a DSLR camera so that my art streams are a bit better, so you can see them in a bit higher detail. You can see how crap I really am then, I did just see chat. I'm just getting this little bit here, and then I'll shoot it. That's my mood these days. Kind of lost light when I broke up with my... Oh, darling. Well, you know what? It's your boyfriend's loss. It's not yours. All right? I've obviously never met you, but we've had a few little conversations and stuff, and you seem lovely to me. Absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, any man would be lucky to have you. And if they're too stupid to realize that, that's on them. You're meant for someone better. You're very welcome. And I don't just say that just to, like, as the generic, or let's butter them up and whatever else. I mean it. Like, you're one of the nicest consistent people that I've had since I've been streaming. You don't appear to have a nasty bone in your body. You just seem lovely. Honestly, if I was able-bodied, right, and I could get on a plane, I would come and meet half of you. I genuinely would, because you guys are all literally like diamonds in the rough. And what's surprising to me, and what freaks me out the most, is that I've met loads of you, and I talk to other streamers, and they're like, nah, don't really get that on my channel. And it's like, well, I've got loads of people on mine that, well, I don't know what you're doing differently, but yeah. And it's nice. It really is nice. Hey, honestly, it's not meant as a reflection on me. It's meant as a reflection on you. I give what I get. I give what I get back. So, the way I look at it is if you're in here and you're enjoying, like, sitting chatting to me, or talking or whatever else, that's because the reason I like to sit here and chat is because I have such a strange, weird connection. When I say strange and weird, because I'm an older guy, so you know all of this social stuff, social networking and whatever else, is kind of a little bit foreign to me, right? But I'm treating you all as if I've met you all because that's how close I feel to you, and I genuinely do. Plus to the fact, not gonna lie, the whole secretary thing really does it for me. I'm just saying. So but Mr. Right is out there. He may be like, a few thousand miles away. He may be in ill health, and he may be incredibly good looking. Somewhat of an amateur artist. I don't know. I'm just trying to narrow the field down for you. I can't. I can't stay in the line on that bit. Ah, right. You get that a lot. Nice. I don't know. You know, I was stuck in a relationship with my ex-wife, a woman that I'd never cross your wife, but I appreciate the thought. Oh no, that's you. Honestly, look, I'm an outrageous flirt. I am completely outrageous, and the fact that I'm so outrageous, you, my wife knows that how I feel about her. Genuinely, like there is no question in her mind, and I make sure that she knows that all the time. Not because it gives me a green light to go and do whatever it is that I want to do. This is a little bit dark, this I suppose, but you never know when it's the end. You never know when it's the last conversation. You never know when it's the last goodnight, right? And I'm not trying to get all depressive, but the way I look, yeah, the way I look at it is that when I do eventually leave this mortal coil, whatever you want to call it, um, I will I will be happy in the fact that my family knows that I truly, genuinely love them, and that will never be in doubt. And quite honestly, that's all I really care about. There, do that bit there, and my friends all know how I feel about them. Sometimes I think, that's wonderful that she has the security. That's the thing that broke my relationship. He wandered elsewhere in his situation. And his attention. I don't know. When I was younger, I kind of I did. I mean, obviously, I say obviously, I did play the field a lot, and I suddenly realised that it's it's not about looks, it's not about the body, it's about the person. Because you know what, when you're 60, 70, 80 years of age, hopefully, um, none of us look attractive. Let's be fair, you know. Um, and all you're left with is the personality and the person inside. So I decided that when I actually got married for the second time, that I was going to marry somebody that I truly wanted to be with. Now, don't get me wrong, my wife's beautiful. I think she's absolutely stunning. I do. When I see her when she walked down the aisle, I literally cried my eyes out at the registry office, and I, I I just there was something about my wife that I knew, and even she said she knew within the first 10, 20 minutes of talking to each other. Oh bloody! I've done all of that. No, I haven't. That was it. And I swore to my wife I'd never get married again because of the debacle that I had with my ex-wife, who, quite frankly, I believe is Satan incarnated. And I don't just say that as a joke. I know I do a lot of ex-wife jokes and stuff, but I really picked a wrong one, like completely. She's ruined my child. Me and my child don't have a relationship anymore. Um, I don't get to see my grandchildren from that child, and yeah, I went through complete and utter hell. Probably one of the reasons why there should be more men like you in this world. Oh, thank you. Could you imagine it? I mean, would you really want more of me around? Not so sure people would want to live in that world. But no, I understand what you mean. It's just that I kind of realized, that what I wanted. Yeah, well, I wanted to just. I've always wanted a family. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have the best upbringing in the world. My dad was a very violent man, um, and an alcoholic to boot, which didn't help with the violence. He used to kind of knock me and my brothers about, and my mum on a regular basis. And I don't know. Uh, I kind of grew up wanting to never be like him. And what's funny is that my ex-wife has actually drummed it into my son, and lied to him, that I was exactly like him, and I'm this person that, and that I'll never forgive her for. Never forgive her for, because you can accuse me of many things, but not that. But you can't control other people. They are going to live their life the way they want to live it. Okay. So the best thing to do, just like certain weeds, the best thing is to cut them out. And I unfortunately only realised that after I started to become ill. You know, so they did try. They did their best between my dad and my ex-wife and my son, unfortunately. But I may be a lot of things in this world. I'm no saint. I make mistakes just like everybody else. But there is one thing that nobody will ever be able to say to me. I'm not a quitter. I'm not. And this is why I get told over and over again, oh, you shouldn't share so much, you shouldn't say so much, you need to keep this private and whatever else, it will get used against you one day. Literally, what are you going to do that's worse than what I've already been through? And being tight-lipped about stuff, and not sharing it and whatever else. I have to be honest. One of the things that I kind of wish that I'd come across when I was going through all of my panic attacks and everything else were more people actually being honest, specifically men. I've got to be honest. It is helpful and healing for me. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I just wish that more people would be honest and say how they're feeling. Everyone walks around with this facade. Oh, nothing bothers me. Nothing does this. Oh, I can handle that. Suck it up, buttercup. And it's like people think like my nurses and stuff that I had coming round to me to help me when I was stuck in bed because of panic attacks and stuff. They were all like, oh, you just have to get up and go downstairs and have a panic attack, realize you're not going to die, and then you'll be okay. And I'm sorry, I was like, bitch, please. I've had like 20 to 30 panic attacks a day, and I'm not dead. So I kind of know that, right? The perfect string to find myself. Ah, oh, Blue, welcome in, buddy. Lovely to have you in here. Men aren't allowed to be honest. Yeah, well, do you know who says that? Society and other men. I decided, you know what? Just like I know this sounds ridiculous, right? But just like in GTA roleplay, when my character has pink hair, right? I I will not and have not follow social conventions, right? I don't want to be I don't want to be in the spotlight but I'm also not going to be a sheeple. And this is one of the reasons why I've been doing this whole, streaming thing and talking about it, because I want to help. I mean, I'm not qualified, but the way I look at it was, is if I'd have come across these videos, right, of me, for argument's sake, whilst I was going through the height of it, I'd have realised, hang on a minute, This guy is saying he's going through it, and granted, you only have my word for it, right? But I think I go on about it enough for people to realise I can't see the guy, lying about this if he's got all of these stories about it, which do seem to ring true. Maybe there is something to it, but the fact is that I would have sat there on my worst day and thought, okay, but tomorrow's going to be better. Tomorrow's going to be better. But there wasn't. There just wasn't, and it's so sad. It really is. And I'm like I said, because I apologized at the beginning of this about being depressive last time. This isn't me being depressive. This is just me sharing my opinion. This mental health phenomenon that seems to be hitting everybody, or a lot of people actually. And then I believe it was, what's his name? What was the guy in the wheelchair? Stephen Hawkins. He said the biggest disaster to hit next is going to be mental health and depression. My God, was that guy right? But I think as long as we all help each other, as long as we're all there for each other, there are so many times when a phone call is just enough. Even talking here on text and on stream and stuff. For some people, it's enough. It helps. Been hitting hard lately, eh? Yeah, it really has, buddy. I'm not gonna lie to you, it really has. There's I've spent the last couple of days. I haven't even been able to stream. It's been awful. And I've come on, and if you was to watch my last, well, they haven't finished yet. I'm doing them now, but the last 3 videos I did of me doing the paint by numbers, I was just listening to it, and it broke my heart listening to me. It's like it was awful. But that was yesterday. Today's today. Who was it? Oh, somebody in the chat the other day said it. I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Pitbull. I'm pretty sure of it. And it was tomorrow is unknown. Yesterday is the past. And today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. And yeah, it's true. Here's another little tip for everybody as well. I mean, it should be common knowledge anyway. And when you hear it, you're probably going, "Oh God, we all do that anyway." Mark, shut up. But figure out what makes you happy. I've always been a bit of a people pleaser, right? It makes me happy to make everybody else happy, and it does. Grandmaster Ogway said, "Yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, and that's why it's called a present." Yes, that was it, and it was you, wasn't it? Find out what makes you happy, because a lot of people spend their time. Even me, I'm guilty of this myself. I'm probably one of the most guiltiest people of it. Is I always care more about other people. Like I've been really struggling lately because I've not been feeling very well. I keep thinking to myself, oh, I've got to get out YouTube content and stuff because people want to watch it, and I feel really bad for them not having any. My friend turned around and said to me, he said, "You're not getting paid for this. It's not your job. It's your hobby. Why do you care?" And I said, "Well, of course I care." I said, "Because everything I want to do, I want to try and excel at." He said, "Okay." He said, "Are you gaining followers?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, and subscribers and stuff." And he said, "So that would mean that was successful, right?" I said, "Yeah, I guess." So he said, "You got what you wanted then." So he said, why do you have to feel the need to constantly pump out all these videos? And yeah, I couldn't answer because he was like, okay. But yeah, it's a weird one. But yeah, just work out what makes you happy. Once you figure that out, because you can't expect anybody else to make you happy if you don't know how to make yourself happy. That awkward moment when your friend slaps you in the face with reality. Yeah, and he does it on the daily for me. And sometimes it almost, I mean, we've never met, but Jimmy is a really nice guy, and he's got his own problems. I won't voice them out here, obviously, but um, he's very direct. But he's not direct in a nasty way. He's more direct in a way of like, it's like, how do you not see this? And won't accept excuses after time. Sometimes he does, because obviously he's not an arse. Well, he is, but you know. I love it, lad. I know, right? But honestly, you'll be so much happier, because you can't expect, like I was saying, you can't expect somebody else to work out what makes you happy if you can't work it out yourself. That is, forgive me for going on to this subject, we'll just touch on it very quickly, but that's the same with sex. You know, how can you expect your partner, no matter how many people they may or may not have been with, but you know, yes, we all have the same organs and they all pretty much work in the same way, but not everybody likes the same thing. No one likes the same ice cream. You know, some of us do. We shared certain, you know, everybody pretty much likes vanilla. But just be honest. The more honest you are, yeah, the more vulnerable you become. But when somebody actually takes advantage of your vulnerability, that's more about them than it is of you. And that's, it just means you haven't met the right one yet. So as you might remember, I do recall you telling me that as a part of my job, I get free alcohol, and I order bottles based on their design. And my goodness, I got some really cool ones this time around. Oh, cool! What did you get? You have to send some pictures in. I kind of like looking at stuff like that, you know, so you can uh, see what stuff's like in different countries. I'm generally a happy person. I lived as a hermit until I was ready to come out of my cave. Um, and then this happened, so I kind of want to hide again. Don't, don't hide, darling, because unfortunately we live in a world where there are people out there that just want to take advantage, and you know, and they do it. And so they do it to the most vulnerable of people, and it sucks, and it's horrible. All right, then, buddy. Thank you. Um, and it happens, but you can't allow that to ruin your life. You just can't. And if you do recluse yourself back into your hole again, then they've really won. Then they don't care. Remember that. They don't care. Some of these people have no feelings. I mean, I don't know this person that's done this to you, but you know, I mean, like for the most part, most people just don't care if they hurt you. They only care about what they want. That's when you can go too far over to the other side of things, you know, when you figure out what you want and then you just want yourself to be happy all the time. You know, it's got to be a 50-50 split. And you have to find that 50-50 split. Not everybody is the right one. Not everybody that comes to you bearing gifts is doing it for, you know, the right reasons. And that's the biggest problem in life. And the problem is that it doesn't actually have to be a problem. It's society that makes it a problem, and people make it a problem. But you'll figure it out. I guarantee you at some point you are going to be extremely happy, because you deserve it. But you also have to know that you deserve it. I'm not one of these, oh, put it out into the universe and it will come back to you. But the thing is that you need to kind of believe in yourself, as I believe in each and every person that's in here right now. Yo, you're welcome, darling. Honestly, and I promise you, I'm not just spouting off crap just for the sake of it. I mean every single word that I say.